When disaster strikes, people don't think logically. They react. Supermarket shelves get stripped bare in hours, and it's always the same items that vanish first. Whether it's a looming storm, political unrest, a sudden economic crash, or even just the rumor of shortages, panic buying follows the same predictable pattern. Certain everyday essentials, things we take for granted when times are calm, suddenly become priceless when fear takes hold. The problem is, by the time you realize what's happening, it's usually too late. Those items are already gone, leaving the unprepared scrambling or paying ridiculous prices. That's why knowing in advance what people will grab first gives you an edge. You can quietly stock up while shelves are still full and avoid the chaos later. In this breakdown, we'll uncover the 12 things everyone buys first when panic hits, so you can stay ahead of the crowd. Water, the first thing gone. When panic hits, the very first thing to disappear from shelves is bottled water. It's predictable, it's universal, and it happens every single time. People don't think about the tap, they don't think about filters, they rush straight to the water aisle and clear it out. Why? Because it's convenient, portable, and simple to ration. A case at Walmart is cheap, under $6 for around 5 gallons, but that shelf will be stripped bare in less than a day once fear sets in. During Hurricane Florence in North Carolina, stores were wiped clean 48 hours before landfall. You'd think people would learn and prepare in advance, but they don't. They wait until the warning comes, and then they all run at once. That's why if you're late to the game, you're out of luck. And here's the reality. Humans can't survive more than a few days without water, and everyone knows it instinctively, which is why it becomes the #1 panic item. The smarter move is to build your own backup before the shelves vanish. Fill and reuse soda, juice, or milk jugs with tap water. Add a drop of bleach to keep it clean. It's free, and it gives you control over your supply. Filters and purification tablets should be part of the plan too. Bottled water is a quick fix, but it's a temporary one, and it's always the first to disappear. If you rely on being able to buy it during a crisis, you've already lost the game. Water is not optional, it is the foundation of survival. If you aren't stockpiling it, storing it, and protecting access to it, you're just gambling with your life. 2. Milk that lasts when fresh runs out. Milk might not sound like a survival item, but watch what happens when a storm is forecast or a lockdown is announced. The infamous milk and bread run proves how fast dairy clears out. People are wired to grab it, especially families with kids. But the problem is obvious. Fresh milk spoils fast, and refrigerated storage can't be counted on if power goes out. That's why shelf-stable milk is gold when panic buying starts. Powdered milk, evaporated cans, or UHT cartons don't need refrigeration and last months or years on the shelf. When the real shortages kick in, these vanish just as quickly as bottled water. In 2023, Horizon Organic was backordered for 6 straight weeks because demand exploded. It's not just about drinking milk, it's about being able to keep cooking and baking when normal supply breaks down. Cereal for kids, bread, sauces, comfort meals all depend on milk in one form or another. And while people rush to grab the refrigerated gallons that will sour in a week, the smart ones already have shelf-stable stock sitting quietly in their pantry. There are even non-dairy alternatives like almond, oat, or lactose-free boxed milk that last just as long. When panic clears shelves, anything remotely resembling milk becomes impossible to find. If you don't plan ahead, you're either cutting meals short or paying ridiculous prices for whatever's left. The blunt truth is this: milk isn't just a drink, it's a key ingredient in everyday food routines. And when those routines break down, people panic even harder. Stock it before the herd realizes it matters. 3. Medicine before you're sick. The third item that disappears in a crisis isn't food at all, it's over-the-counter medicine. Pain relievers, cold and flu meds, allergy pills, children's formulas, all of them vanish when panic sets in. People don't think about medicine until they need it, and then it's too late. By the time flu season overlaps with panic buying, the shelves are stripped. In 2022, children's Tylenol was impossible to find, Benadryl was gone, and even generics ran out. That's not just an inconvenience, it's dangerous. A sick child without basic fever reducers, a flu without relief, or an infection without something to take the edge off becomes a much bigger emergency than it should be. Everyone thinks they'll just run to the pharmacy, but when panic spreads, you won't find what you need. The smart move is to keep at least a full bottle of the basics: acetaminophen, ibuprofen, cold medicine, allergy relief, and rotate your stock so it stays within the effective range. Generics work just as well as brand names and cost less, but you have to buy them before the herd wakes up. Once shelves are empty, you'll be left hunting through overpriced third-party sellers or doing without. Illness doesn't wait for supply chains to recover. Kids still get sick, adults still catch the flu, headaches still strike, and pain doesn't take a break just because the world is in chaos. This is one of the easiest preps to secure, but it's also one of the most commonly overlooked until it's gone. Medicine disappears fast, and without it, even minor problems turn serious. Stock up now or regret it later. 4. Canned protein, survival in a can. When panic hits, the shelves containing canned protein disappear almost instantly. Tuna, chicken, beef, even peanut butter. These aren't just convenient snacks, they are lifelines. Ready to eat, shelf-stable, and packed with protein, they provide sustenance when refrigeration fails or supply chains stall. People know this instinctively, which is why stores get emptied within hours of any crisis warning. Prices spike immediately. Tuna and canned chicken, for example, often double in price during shortages. Home canning is an alternative for those who plan ahead, but it takes time and effort, which most people don't bother with until the shelves are bare. Canned protein is versatile. It mixes with rice, pasta, or canned vegetables to create a full meal with minimal effort. Forget fresh meat during a crisis. It rots too fast and becomes unavailable. This is why canned protein is a staple for preppers. It lasts, it's calorie-dense, and it keeps you fed without needing a fridge. Anyone ignoring this is playing with fire. When panic strikes, the smart move isn't to hope for a last-minute restock. It's to have your stockpile ready, because the herd will strip the shelves faster than you can blink. Protein isn't optional when survival is on the line, and canned goods are the easiest way to secure it. 5. Comfort carbs, rice, pasta, and grains. The second category that disappears in any panic is carbohydrates. Rice, pasta, and other grains are the backbone of survival meal. People instinctively grab them because they bulk up meals, stretch limited protein, and offer emotional comfort during uncertainty. When panic buying hits, the shelves of these staples are the first to be cleared out. The phenomenon isn't just about calories, it's about comfort. During crises, people crave familiarity, and a bowl of rice or pasta fills that need. But there's another problem: shrinkflation. Rice bags that were once 20 plebs now contain 18 lbs without any price reduction, slowly squeezing buyers without them noticing. Proper storage is critical. Airtight containers, mylar bags, buckets, and mason jars can extend shelf life for years, but only if you store them correctly. When panic sets in, stores may restock slowly, but these staples vanish fast. Anyone relying on last-minute purchases will be left scrambling. Comfort carbs aren't just filler, they are a survival strategy. They stretch limited resources, provide energy, and maintain morale when everything else goes sideways. Bulk buying and proper storage aren't optional, they are necessary. If you wait for the shelves to refill, it's too late. Panic buying doesn't wait, and neither should you. 6. Cooking oils, fuel for survival meals. The third item everyone grabs when panic strikes is cooking oils and fat. You can have rice, protein, and canned vegetables, but without oil, meals are bland. Nutrition is limited, and baking becomes nearly impossible. Oils are critical for survival cooking, for frying, roasting, and preparing comfort food that keeps morale high during crises. Global instability, inflation, and supply chain interruptions directly affect oil availability. Canola oil, for example, jumped 28% in price during Q3 of 2022, and even dollar stores ran out. Stockpiling isn't just smart, it's essential. Options include vegetable oil, lard, butter, or shortening. Each has different uses, but all extend the versatility of your stored food. Freezing oils can significantly extend shelf life, but even at room temperature, a carefully stored bottle can last months. When panic buying hits, oils are among the first to vanish because people underestimate their importance until it's too late. The takeaway is simple: without fats, survival cooking is miserable, and morale tanks. Stock your oils early, rotate them to maintain freshness. And don't rely on last-minute availability. Everyone else will empty the shelves before you even get a chance. This is a survival item disguised as a cooking staple. Ignore it, and your meals and your ability to cope will suffer. 7. Infant necessities. Baby formula and diapers. Let's not sugarcoat it. If you have a baby at home, nothing else comes close in importance to formula and diapers. Forget about toilet paper, pasta, or fancy bottled water. Families with infants live and die by these two essentials. Panic buying doesn't just clear shelves, it can create literal crises for parents who aren't prepared. The 2022 formula shortage in the United States is a perfect example. Parents were calling multiple stores, checking online stock, and even begging for supplies because local shelves were empty. Prices skyrocketed, and even then, many families couldn't find what they needed. Diapers tell the same story. Parents who hadn't stocked up in advance faced impossible situations, sometimes having to resort to improvised cloths or multiple trips to stores during severe weather or civil unrest. There's no wiggle room here. Your child doesn't care if the world is on fire. They need formula and diapers now, not later. The blunt reality: always maintain at least one package ahead of your normal usage. Don't rely on luck or timely restocking. Coordinate with relatives, friends, or neighbors to keep extra supplies on hand. Stockpiling isn't hoarding, it's survival. Yes, prices are high, but the cost of not having these items during a panic is far worse. Your baby's health, nutrition, and hygiene are non-negotiable. In any SHTF, shit hits the fan scenario, these essentials vanish first. Miss out and you're facing skyrocketing prices, desperate searches, and unnecessary stress. Being unprepared for infants isn't just inconvenient, it can be dangerous. Take responsibility, plan ahead, and ensure your baby never goes without. The stakes here are too high to gamble. 8 power essentials. Batteries and flashlights. When the lights go out, the chaos starts. Storms, hurricanes, civil unrest, or rolling blackouts don't wait for convenience. Batteries and flashlights become instant necessities, and panic buying ensures shelves are empty almost immediately. Remember Hurricane Sandy? Batteries were gone within hours. No stores, no deliveries, no substitute. People were trapped in darkness, unable to charge devices, unable to see, panicking because they weren't prepared. A rechargeable battery system with solar chargers is not a luxury, it's a survival tool. Don't underestimate the psychological and practical impact of darkness. No light means accidents, confusion, and a heightened sense of panic. Cheap flashlights with dead batteries won't cut it. You need multiple reliable flashlights checked regularly. Stockpile strategically, AAAAC. Whatever your household use it. Assign one flashlight per adult, and ensure spare batteries are kept in an accessible location. When panic hits, if your power backup fails, you are in immediate trouble. Don't wait for disaster to realize you're sitting in the dark, frustrated and helpless. Being prepared for power outages is one of the simplest ways to maintain control when chaos strikes. 9. Pet lifelines. Food and care items. Pet owners, listen carefully. Your animals rely entirely on you for survival. Panic buying hits pet supplies hard, often leaving owners desperate and anxious. Cat food shortages in 2023 are proof of how quickly the market can collapse. Wet food, dry food, supplements, and even specialty diets can vanish from shelves overnight. Pets' routines are not negotiable. Their health and comfort depend on consistent care. Forgetting this is irresponsible. Stocking adequately is not optional. It's your duty as a pet owner. Wet food has a shorter shelf life than dry, so maintain both. Don't skip supplements, medications, or grooming necessities. In chaotic situations, a hungry or sick pet adds stress to an already tense environment. Panic becomes worse if you can't provide for your companion. Animals feel stress and anxiety just like humans do, and shortages hit them hard. Planning ahead ensures your pets remain healthy, fed, and calm during emergencies. Being unprepared for pets is not just negligent, it can compound an already dangerous situation for your household. Treat their needs as seriously as your own food and water supply. In any survival scenario, pets are family, and neglecting them is not an option. 10 essential sanitation and hygiene supplies. Let's be brutally honest. Sanitation is not optional. When panic hits, toilet paper, soap, feminine hygiene products, and cleaning wipes disappear faster than you can blink. The history is clear. The 2020 toilet paper shortage is the perfect example. Shelves were emptied within hours. Cleaning wipes, bleach, hand sanitizer gone. People hoarded, panic spread, and those unprepared were left scrambling. Skipping hygiene in a crisis isn't just uncomfortable, it's dangerous. Poor sanitation increases the risk of illness, spreads germs, and turns minor inconveniences into major health crises. Bars of soap last longer than liquid soap, and strangely, they often improve with age. Feminine hygiene products are non-negotiable. Anyone who needs them cannot compromise. Shortages create stress, embarrassment, and potential medical issues. Even households with bidet or modern systems still need toilet paper. Vinegar and bleach can substitute for some cleaning duties, but they don't replace the simple necessity of personal hygiene. Panic buying teaches a harsh lesson. If you wait until the shelves are empty, you're late. You need to plan ahead, maintain a stockpile, and rotate items to avoid expiration. Don't underestimate the value of having a surplus. Stock soap, cleaning supplies, wipes, toilet paper, and feminine hygiene products. Keep backups in multiple locations if possible. The difference between a functional household and one descending into chaos often comes down to hygiene. Being unprepared here is one of the fastest ways a manageable crisis turns catastrophic. When everyone else scrambles, you want calm, clean, and healthy. That's what a proper stockpile of sanitation supplies guarantees. You might think these are minor items until you find yourself in the middle of a blackout or supply chain disruption, desperately searching for essentials that are nowhere to be found. Preparation here is simple, inexpensive, and literally life-saving. 11. Emotional survival, comfort foods and treats. Panic isn't just about physical survival, it's mental. Emotional resilience matters, and comfort foods are a key part of it. When stress spikes, people crave coffee, chocolate, soda, chips, and baked goods. Shelves empty fast because everyone suddenly remembers they need these items to stay sane. Coffee prices can spike dramatically. 15% in a single month isn't uncommon. Stocking these items isn't luxury, it's strategy. Either buy the treats themselves or stock ingredients to make them at home. Imagine a world of uncertainty, long lines, empty shelves, and social tension. Having coffee, chocolate, or cookies provides more than calories, it gives psychological stability. Panic buying highlights this need. Emotional support items vanish faster than most essentials because people underestimate how much stress affects behavior. Comfort foods stabilize moods, reduce anxiety, and maintain morale during high-stress situations. Households ignoring this aspect of preparedness risk not only irritability and frustration, but actual breakdowns under pressure. Stocking comfort foods is an insurance policy for your mental health. You want your household to remain functional, calm, and cooperative even when chaos surrounds you. Chocolate, chips, soda, and coffee are more than indulgences. They're morale boosters that allow people to cope with long waits, shortages, or power outages. Ingredients for homemade treats give flexibility. Flour, sugar, cocoa, and coffee allow you to bake, brew, and create morale-boosting items even when stores are empty. Mental survival is often ignored in emergency prep, but history proves it's critical. Panic magnifies stress, and stress amplifies poor decision-making. Comfort foods mitigate that risk, giving you a small but powerful advantage. The takeaway is blunt: don't overlook morale. Stocking comfort items isn't frivolous, it's essential. Those with access to these small but critical items will navigate chaos with far less friction, anxiety, and conflict. 12. Critical backup, cash on hand. Cash remains king when panic strikes. ATMs run dry, banks close early, and electronic payment systems fail under stress. Think about it during crises. Network failures, system outages, and sheer panic make cards useless. Coin shortages have also occurred. Quarters, dimes, nickels vanish from circulation. Large bills are impractical for small transactions, making small denominations essential. Failing to stock small bills is a huge oversight. Cash on hand is not optional, it's survival. You need multiple denominations for flexibility. Once, $5, $10, and $20 bills, plus coins if possible. Think beyond convenience. In a prolonged crisis, cash allows you to buy food, fuel, medicine, and other essentials even when stores are rationing or bartering begins. Electronic banking relies on power and connectivity. Two things you may lose. Panic buying proves this repeatedly. When ATMs run dry or card readers fail, Only those with ready cash can access necessities immediately. Keeping cash in secure but accessible locations is critical. A hidden stash in a safe or lockbox ensures liquidity without risk of theft. Forgetting to prepare with cash is like ignoring water or food. When systems fail, you are powerless. In past crises, households with cash on hand had mobility, flexibility, and immediate access to resources. Those without became dependent on others or had to make dangerous choices just to secure basic necessities. Don't assume electronic banking is fail-proof. Crisis doesn't care about convenience or planning. It hits hardest where people are least prepared. Proper cash management means small bills, mixed denominations, coins if possible, and secure storage. In any SHTF scenario, this ensures you remain independent, functional, and able to act immediately. It's a small effort for a huge payoff: survival, mobility, and flexibility. When panic hits, preparation separates those who survive with control from those who scramble in chaos. The 12 items discussed: water, non-perishable food, canned protein, grains, baby essentials, batteries, pet supplies, sanitation products, comfort foods, and cash are not optional. They vanish fast, and the people left unprepared pay the price. Panic buying is predictable. History proves it. Shortages spike, prices soar, and stores empty within hours. Waiting until the last minute is a guarantee of frustration, stress, and unnecessary hardship. Survival isn't glamorous, it's practical. Stock what you need, plan ahead, and rotate supplies to avoid waste. Protect your family, your mental health, and even your pets by thinking ahead. Small steps today: extra diapers, a few more cans of food, spare batteries, a stash of cash become lifelines tomorrow. This isn't about hoarding, it's about foresight, responsibility, and keeping control when everyone else loses theirs. Panic is predictable, but your response doesn't have to be chaotic. Be deliberate, be prepared, be one step ahead. When the world goes into overdrive, the well-prepared remain calm, capable, and safe. In any emergency, it isn't luck that keeps you going. It's the supplies you secured before the shelves emptied. Remember, foresight beats fear every time.